To all you lovers out there, welcome to Love Works. I'm Juan.
And I'm G.
And we are here with our October Bachelor of the Month, Dominique Dab.
Dab the ink.
What does Dab mean?
Dab is my initials, Dominique.
Okay.
Okay. I was wondering and I'm like,
so why is it the ink? I always associate with tattoos.
Everyone does. The ink is because I write music.
Oh.
Yes. So Dab the ink.
Ah, okay.
Because when I saw Dab the ink, I immediately thought of your tattoo that you showed so prominently on Facebook. But then I was thinking like dab the ink in something, you know, like it's like a sentence. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And it's a conversation starter too.
It is. It started this conversation.
So that takes me to my first point on my little notes.
Okay.
You're a singer and a songwriter now.
Songwriter. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay, and you said you don't mind stopping in the middle of what you're doing to call his name.
I know that's right.
All right. So can you give us a little bit? Can you call his name? Give our viewers a little taste of your vocals.
Way to put him on the spot.
I know, right? See, this is my thing. This is my thing. I am a songwriter. I sing because I can hold a note, and it's because I can reference my own music.
Gotcha.
I'm not really the one who likes to sing out in public often, because I never claimed to be like the best vocalist, but I would happen, so happen to put different little me singing on social media, but it's just all out of fun.
So what you have here though, I didn't gather that that's what I thought that you meant, like calling Jesus.
That's what it was.
Oh, so you wanted to say Jesus?
I wanted to.
Okay.
Oh, I say Jesus.
So you're a Christian.
Absolutely, yes.
And so what that takes me to this question then. This might be a little deep, but how do you reconcile your religious beliefs with your sexuality? And what was that process like for you? If a process at all.
I think that it's still processing actually.
Okay.
I'm learning. I just started.
Okay.
Dealing with guys. I've been in Atlanta for 6 years, for about 5 years now.
Okay.
So you can only imagine when coming out to my mother, who is a very deep Christian.
Right.
The first thing that she had said to me was, you're going to hell, right? I said, well, I didn't even mean to.
Yeah.
I said, well, you are too.
Right. Just based off of what I see.
Yeah. So it's still processing because I do believe in God, and I am a Christian, and I grew up under the church, like going to church every day during school, before school, after school. So, but I don't think that God loves me any less than He loves anyone else.
Okay.
And that's what I'm gonna stick to.
So that was very interesting. You said that you just recently started seeing guys.
Yes.
Like since you moved to Atlanta.
Go figure.
It's out with the water. So within the past 5 years, you just now started experiencing that. So have you ever had a relationship?
I have, yes. That was my first relationship. Was the first person that I had been with, and so I learned some things from them, and I kind of got out of it really fast because
it's kind of scary.
It was just like it was just so quick. Everything was happening so fast. I knew that I had those feelings all of my life.
Yeah.
But I finally acted on them, and it was scary. Yeah, absolutely.
So, how old are you? Don't mind me asking.
I'm 29. I'll be 30 in May.
29. Okay, yeah. So you were about 24, 25 when.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so I mean, I was thinking, like, what made you start at that point? Did you come to Atlanta with that agenda that you know you could be free, or it just kind of happened for you?
It just kind of happened. I came to Atlanta on music, for music.
Okay.
I moved from San Francisco to Atlanta.
Okay.
Cali boy.
Yeah, and I'm originally from Michigan though. I like
Make
to throw
that known.
out there, yeah. But I came for music, and I came by myself, and it just so happened that that just was a path that I crossed.
So you a Christian,
Yeah.
yelling on the mountaintop. You have reconciled or are reconciling your religious beliefs or spiritual beliefs with your gayness, if you will. So in your relationships and your dating, how important is your faith to that relationship? Does your prospective partner have to be a Christian? Do they have to believe? Like, how important is that faith in your relationships?
I would prefer, you know, that we believe in the same thing, but
It definitely makes it much easier.
it makes it a lot easier, yeah. But I don't feel like I would stray away from what I believe in. I just can't have something completely off of what I believe in.
Right.
I do know people who believe that there is a God, but they don't think that, you know, going to church and things like that is so important. And,
Right.
you know,
But is that important to you?
you know, I like to go to church. You know, I go because I feel like being in the house of the Lord is just so much better than praying to yourself.
Right.
You know, I love that energy, and despite of what people around in the church may think of you, you still get what you go. As long as I get what I went there for, get out of that what I went there for. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
As long as you're being
Yeah,
fed
you're feeding
and
your
nourished
soul,
and
absolutely.
everything.
Yeah.
But you believe that it takes going to a place of worship with other worshipers to do that, not on your own.
I don't believe that you have to, but I think that we should give our time to God in His house and not in our condos. You know what I'm
Well, that's very traditional. But let me ask you: do you believe? I know you said you're still working through the process. At this point, do you believe? Well, do you believe in heaven and hell?
Yes.
And do you believe that you are going to hell because you are gay, or do you identify as gay? I don't want to assume.
No, I don't believe I'm going to hell for being gay. Probably some other things. But
Right. But you don't think gay is a sin?
This is just such a touchy subject. You know, it's
you
just
know
such
what?
a long subject.
So we're gonna give you 2 seconds to gather those thoughts, and when we come back, we are gonna get the answer to that question.
Is he sinning?
Are we all sinning? We'll see. We'll be right back.
And the importance of looking out for our families and friends.
And standing together in the fight against HIV. Everyone should get tested for HIV at least once as part of routine health care.
Gay and bisexual men may benefit from more frequent HIV testing and should consider getting tested every 3 to 6 months.
Knowing your status and taking whatever next steps it requires makes you and our community
Stronger! HIV testing is free. Visit gettested.cdc.gov/stronger.
Welcome back to all you lovers out there. We are back here with Dominique Dab, and we were just asking him, giving him some extra time to answer the question, does he believe that gay or homosexuality is a sin?
Yeah, so about that, gay, I don't think that it's a sin because I feel like God put us here, and I don't think that He would make gay, He wouldn't make gay if you know, have people like the same sex, gay, lesbian, or what, you know, whatnot, if you're just automatically gonna go to hell.
Right.
Something about that just doesn't sit well with me. I know that's what I was taught growing up, and even still in the church they teach that.
Right.
But it's something about that I just don't, it doesn't sit well with me. And I probably could have put more time into looking into the Bible and really digging through and finding out for myself, but I have not made that time just yet. But it's something that's on my list that I need to do.
But is your feeling not enough? If you feel that way, is that not enough for you to reconcile within yourself that being gay is not a sin?
I've never heard that put that way, but I love that question.
Yeah, like why go against your own, why have to look outside of yourself to know what you already know to be true within yourself?
I have so much faith in how I feel about that situation. Maybe that's why I hadn't made it, you know, put it at the top of my list to go and try and figure out and go through all of the hoops.
You ain't bothered.
Right, and especially since you are, especially how passionate you are about your religion, you would think that if it was that, like you said, a big of a deal, maybe you would have. So,
and I do think that, I mean, we know that the Bible changes with time because you have the New Testament. Right. And I'm not saying that they're going to rewrite the Bible and say, hey, let's have a big gay party, but I'm saying that pride, but I do feel
the Bible release party.
You know, gay people have a party for everyone. So, but I do believe that there will be more understanding, and they wouldn't crucify gays so much, you know.
So, is your family very religious? Your mother is, obviously, but is your collective family? Because I noticed that you're very, very big on family. So how important is family to your everyday life?
Me and my mother speak about every day. She actually just called me not too long ago, and I didn't pick up because I didn't even feel like explaining to her what you was doing. She'll have a million questions, so I'll tell her after. But my mother, I have very close family members. There's a few that I speak to all the time, and then there's that family that they become relatives. You know, people who you grow up with, but you move away, and they're your family, but
they become relatives.
I've never heard that either. They become relatives.
They become relatives. You go back home and they have kids, they have a new job, or you know, a whole different outlook on life, and you may even go back and people that you looked up to, you may be like, oh my God, you ain't shit.
Right. No, yeah, I mean that happens all the time.
Yeah,
that happens all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. So but I'm very big on family. When I see my family, it's all love. And I don't feel judged, and I know my family knows that I'm gay. It's nothing that I came out at the Thanksgiving dinner and said, hey everybody, I'm gay. Right. You know, but I definitely told the people that was most important to me in my life.
Okay. So you've never had the actual coming out conversation
with extended family,
with relatives,
because I don't think that it's necessary.
Okay.
And I didn't either. I didn't either. It's like once I think I told my mom and my sister, and then everybody finds out, and then I just bring my man home. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to go to each person and say, hey, I'm gay, hey, I'm gay, hey, I'm gay. Yeah. And I didn't either. I mean,
because that's when I feel like we put ourselves in the box.
Yeah.
When you feel like you have to keep. I mean, when they have kids out of wedlock, they don't come to you and explain to you why they did that, or
it is what it
when
is.
they are getting in an abusive relationship, they don't come and tell you all of their business. The man cheating on them, they don't come and say, hey, he's cheating on me. You know, I mean, because they think, a lot of people think that gay is wrong. So I believe that those things are wrong. You don't come and tell me your business. But if you do come to me and ask me, and I know your tea, I'm actually about yours. Yeah. You know, so, you know, just to let you know, ease up.
That kind of raises, not a question, but just a thought in my mind, where how gay is always associated or equated with some negative aspect, like cheating or some sin, or you know, a murderer, blah blah blah. Why do we continue to do that?
I don't. But I think society does. But I make it a point, and I was going to say that to you. I think in almost a way, if somebody, and I guess the T is just whatever is a secret. Exactly. And most of the times things that are secret, people are not most proud of. Right. And so when you had said, well, if they come to me and ask that I'm gay, then I'm going to bring up their dirt per se. Right. But is that validating them in the fact that is dirt?
Yeah, it's calling your gayness dirt to me. Yeah. Do you believe that?
I think that because it's where I'm from. I'm from Saginaw, Michigan. Saginaw is a little small town. And I hear how they speak of gay, and I hear how they speak of me behind my back. So maybe that's why I'm on such a defense with it. But me, in my mind, I'm trying to get them to understand that it's nothing like, I mean, you know, you find out in Saginaw that such and such is gay. Oh yeah, they all done. That don't mean you all done because you're gay. No, I think that you're all done because you have these situations going on in your life. I got good credit. I got a good job. I have a career. you know, and I have good things going for myself. Why am I all done because of the person that I sleep with? That's what I try and get through to them. So that's why I feel like if you feel like you knowing that I'm gay is fire, I'm gonna fight back with fire. It might not be right, but that's what, you know.
You're kind of meeting them with where they are.
Yeah, but I do try and get through to a lot of people that I'm just like you.
Yeah,
I am you, you know. So
I am you.
We're human.
That's pretty powerful. That's pretty powerful. Okay, flipping gears. And not unless you have something else to say on this.
No, I think we can move on.
Okay, switching gears. You've been in one relationship. Is that the only relationship that you've been in the last 5 years?
In the last 5 years, it's not. I actually
2014 comes to mind.
Yeah, I just got out of a relationship in January.
Okay. January of this year.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, what's the most important thing that you learned about yourself from that relationship?
Oh gosh. That I am hard.
What does that mean?
I'm not as emotional as everybody else. And that a lot of people don't like that. I do think that sometimes, most of the time, even with friends, I'm always like, why you're so emotional? Like, like I get so annoyed. And I think that I have a problem with opening up like I should. Yeah.
So you have a wall built?
Oh, I have it.
Several walls.
Yeah.
What are some of those walls?
Yeah, and why?
I'm not 100% sure. I'm a private person.
So did you not just have a thought and say, I don't want to say that, and so you said you're not sure? Did that just happen?
Because I don't like to blame things on my past, because then it feels like you're carrying baggage.
Well, is it you're blaming, or is it that's who made you who you are? But you know, if you are able to voice and say, well, I'm this way because this happened to me when I was 10, then you could, you know, speak it and work past not being that way anymore. But if you keep saying, well, that's not why I'm that way, then how will you ever grow past it?
Well, I think that this is my thing. I have dealt with someone before that I was so into, and they were just the biggest liar and the biggest cheat and deceiver and manipulator. So you can only imagine going into your next situation. You do have this wall built, and it's hard for people to get in. And I don't know how. You know, sometimes you just really don't know how to release, and you know, and that takes a toll on your future relationships. And I've learned that, and you know, and I feel like when I do be trying to come a little bit more open, and you know, the last relationship was rushed too. So I mean, I think that was the biggest thing.
What does rushed mean?
We didn't court. We jumped right into marriage, and it was just not a good thing, you know. Some people may be able to do that, but I am not. It was rushed, you know, and I almost feel like I was just blindsided. Like I rushed into it and didn't even realize I was rushing into it. Yeah.
So why did y'all ultimately break up?
Because we got to know each other.
Okay, and just decided it. So did y'all end on good terms? And it was,
yeah, we still talk. Yeah.
How long were you guys together?
Gosh, not long enough. I don't want to say.
Why don't you want to say?
Is it too bright?
And wasn't it long enough to realize you didn't like him?
Yeah, I mean, like, how long does it have to be? Luckily, it wasn't longer because you know you don't like him.
Right.
Why waste any more time?
I love him.
Okay.
Well, you can love him but not like him.
I love him.
We don't move past that question. Right. We'll move past that question.
Okay, so you say you have these walls built up, but I'm going to quote you.
Okay.
In saying, where is it?
Oh Lord.
Okay.
I say a lot of stuff.
You say you try to stay as transparent as possible. So how do you stay transparent as possible yet you have the Great Wall of China standing between you?
Listen to my words. I'm very big on my words. I didn't say that I am as transparent. I say I try to stay as transparent as possible, which I do. I try. I really do. And I think being transparent also is telling the truth.
Yeah.
And I like to, I tell the truth. I'm not a good liar.
Right.
So I think that that's my transparency.
Right.
Like
Look, I got a wall up.
Yeah, that's what
I'm
I'm
gonna
saying.
tell you the truth. You know, and that's what I try to beat out of everybody, from my friends to relationships. Tell the truth. Like let's have a truth party.
Right.
You know, because that's what I want, because that's what I give, and I believe that what you give, you know, what you put out into the atmosphere, that's what I expect to receive back. And see, that may be my problem, because that's what I expect to receive back, and that's not what I get.
Well, I mean, I think that it's fair to expect the truth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
you
so
know,
you shouldn't settle for someone who's not giving
Oh
you the
no,
truth.
no, I don't. That's the thing too. I don't settle, so that's probably why by myself.
Well, when we come back, because we've got some time that's running out right here, but when we come back, we're gonna get more into what it's like for dating with Dominique.